Hey y'all, welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, I'm your hostess, and tonight we are making pork ribs. And they're not even defrosted yet completely, y'all. But we're going to do them in our Instapot, and this is a Ninja Instapot. And I'm only using a couple of seasonings, and we will go from there. I'm going to use some garam masala that I make myself, and some adobo seasoning. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to put in here is a cup of water. You never want to run your Instapot without water in it. So I'm going to pour the water in. I've got my little shelf there inside that came with the pot. It's set in there, and I'm going to put my ribs in there. And they are still frozen, y'all. Normally I would rub both sides down, but because they're frozen, I'm not going to be able to, but I can always add more spice when I get them out of the pot. So I'm going to take a teaspoon of garam masala and just sprinkle it over the top. I'm not even rubbing it into the meat. I'm just going to let that cook just like that. This, I may do a video on this one day. I've got quite a bit still, so I'm not going to do it yet. And I love adobo. And this is just an adobo seasoning that you can buy in any grocery store. And if you can't find it in any groceries, ask them for it. And this one is without pepper. So I'm just going to sprinkle a teaspoon of that in there. And we're going to put the cover on. Now I have my little drip cup back here on the back of my Ninja ready to go. I've made sure to check my gasket and my nipple. My nipple's loose. And I use the steam vent. A lot of people don't use it, but my cabinets are so close to my counter is so close to my upper cabinets. I like using this. You just have to make sure that you have it on correctly. Check it to make sure that little lip to turn it with is in that plastic cover. And I have marked mine so I know my sweet spot on my Ninja. I'll bring you down here and turn my Ninja just a little bit so you can see. I'm going to turn it on. I've got my unit plugged in. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to hit start. I'm going to hit pressure. And according to my chart, I need to let this cook for at least 15 to 20 minutes. I always go for the higher end. These will be finished off in my oven. And I've got my time in, and I'm going to hit start. So when the 20 minutes is up, I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. Waiting on that, I've got some home canned baked beans. I will be doing a video on these hopefully sometime in the near future. These are really good. And I'm going to open that up. I'm going to find me some other quick sides. I'm not going to do baked potatoes and all that to go with this. We just kind of like to keep it simple, so it'll probably be some sort of mashed potatoes or potatoes au gratin or something like that, and the baked beans, and maybe some of the Amish squash that we like. I'm also going to use some barbecue sauce to finish off my ribs because we like barbecue sauce, and the garam masala really works well with barbecue sauce on just about any kind of meat. So it is a pungent spice mixture, so be aware of that. Okay, my camera went down, so I don't know if you saw, but I put maybe a tablespoon of each of these barbecue sauces in here. And I'm just going to leave this one out and let it sit upside down because we're probably going to use that on the ribs. I'm also going to use a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And I've got about a tablespoon of mustard in there also. We're just going to mix this together. And we're going to call that barbecue baked beans. And there it is in the pot. And I'm just going to get that heating. This is a boxed au gratin potatoes that we had bought, and I had it put in glass jars with the cheese sauce or the au gratin sauce. And it says to add 2 cups of water, a half cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter. And then I'm going to combine these, bring them to a boil, reduce heat, and let them simmer for 15 minutes. And I could do them in the oven, but I choose just to do them on top of the stove. I've added 2 cups of water to my saucepan. I'm going to go ahead and get it turned on. And I'm using raw milk because that's what we have on hand, y'all. And it's a half a cup of milk. And if my dogs were in here, they'd be begging for the milk. They love milk. Also calls for 2 tablespoons of butter, and I've already got mine cubed up, and I'm going to go ahead and scrape that out and add that in here. And we're going to get this started to a boil. Okay, my nipple's down on here and my top is loose, and I'm going to open this away from me. And my ribs are cooked. I can grab them. They're so big they're falling apart. They're falling off the bone, y'all. Which is what we want. We want them to fall off the bone. So we're going to get these out of here. And they've got that nice garam marsala smell to them. They are before I put them in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and re-season them just a little bit. The amount of garam marsala that I put in there has penetrated this meat, so I won't add any more of that, but I will add some more adobo. And I'm holding this with my hands so you can actually see what I'm doing. But I'm going to put a nice layer of this on top because we do like the adobo. So I'm going to go ahead and spread some barbecue sauce just across the tops. I may have to get out some more barbecue sauce, but just enough to give it some flavor. These are going to be very, very moist. So they're really, really going to be good. And I'm going to pop these in the oven on a low broil for about 5 minutes. There are our ribs fresh out of the oven, and they are ready to go. We will be eating high on the hog tonight. I'll show you a picture of our plate before I close out this video. Thank you very much for watching.